What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. It's the best one. Donnie here with...
What's going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here, man. Donnie's co-host for the We Are Wrestling Talk Show. And we decided to come live because we want to be able to talk about AEW Dynamite, man.
That's right. And I got lots of notes here on the phone for this show. Oh,
Me
yeah,
too, man.
Yep, you got all yours right in the head. We're going to let a couple people get on here before, we start rolling with this. But, how did you feel about the show overall, though?
I really enjoyed it. I like the direction. I told you this a couple weeks ago, man, and I've been saying it nonstop. Like when we do the pre-recorded stuff, I really like the Jericho Appreciation Society and Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz. I like the direction they're going, man.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that, man, because I was very impressed tonight with the stuff they did. I was very happy. One of the biggest pros for this show, I think.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, so of course, you already know if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. The best way to support the channel is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications, videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course, you already know, the grind is real. And this is our first live stream, so I don't really expect a lot of people to be on here. But we are going to be doing this consistently every Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite. And yeah, Danny and I, he does his watch alongs. I do my reactions. So sometimes if we are late, we're late. But hey, we are going to be doing this and we're going to go over the entire show. And for the people that aren't here on the lives, just so you know, this whole video will be on the channel as well. So you can rewatch this at any time. But just so you guys know, we'll be doing this moving forward every Wednesday after AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, because me and Donnie, over the last week we've been talking, and just to make it easier on Donnie, we decided to film the pre-recorded stuff on Tuesdays, which kind of prohibited us from being able to talk about AEW Dynamite. Just to make it a little bit easier on him because he does all the editing and graphics and stuff like that. So I feel like this is an easy way for us to be able to implement AEW into our schedule.
I definitely agree with that. And we also have some things in the works that we can't wait to share with you guys, but we got to wait a few more weeks before we make that announcement. But yeah, also too, the 1,000 subscriber giveaway video, that will be out pretty soon. I decided I want to put a little more effort into my 1,000 special little tribute video I'm putting together. So be patient. It's going to be worth it. But
he's gonna be giving away his house and his car.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. So here we go. So we're starting off with the opening match here. We have Cash versus Dax. FTR for the first time ever go against each other one-on-one. What was your thoughts on the opening match?
I actually really liked that. I was shocked that they made this match, the opening contest of the show. And I heard earlier in the day that CM Punk was going to be doing commentary during that match. So I knew once his music hit and once he went out there, I was like, yes, the first match is going to be the FTR versus FTR match. I really liked it. I don't know if you've noticed, it's a very it wasn't that obvious, but it was obvious to people that that are huge wrestling fans like us. Their trunks were both like a tribute to the Hart family. If you noticed that,
I did notice that. I did.
It was just sportsmanship all around, man. It looked like Cash was getting a little bit pissed off at Dax when he got poked in the face and he kept pushing him away, and you could hear Dax, "I didn't mean to do that to you," and then he just, they just went at it, but they fought like brothers, man. Nobody knows each other more than them two. I thought the match was phenomenal.
I thought it was just a great wrestling match, just from start to finish. Those two are such veterans to the business. They bring something special to the ring. I think that's why they're one of my favorite tag teams, to be honest with you. But I really thought that this was such a clean match. My only critique for this match, there's only one critique I have, and that is, why was CM Punk on commentary?
Because I feel like, well, obviously we know after the match he cut a promo, whatever, on Adam Page. Adam Page was not at the event today because he has COVID. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, I did not
Um,
know that at all.
yeah, so he has COVID, so he wasn't unable to be at the show tonight. So CM Punk was pretty much just relying on himself, whatever, to hype up the championship match that's going to be a Double or Nothing. That, and I believe CM Punk has a history with both FTR. He seems like he whether he's friends outside of pro wrestling or not, I don't know. But just the way he was talking on commentary, it's almost like he has some kind of a history with them too. So it was kind of fitting in a way.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I felt like overall with the whole, the CM Punk thing, for me it didn't make sense only because they just came off that feud where CM Punk was feuding with MJF and the
Mhm.
Pinnacle. I know they're breaking up FTR and MJF, but it still doesn't make sense because there's still heat. Didn't CM Punk fight Dax a couple weeks ago?
I believe so, yeah.
So that's the only thing for me that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But besides that, like this match, seriously, was a great match from start to finish. And I really liked, the ending of this match. I know some people are like, oh, it's a roll up. That's stupid. I thought that was the best way for it to end because
Yeah,
these two know each other well. They both tried to do the roll up and one got it over the other.
exactly. And one thing that I do really got to mention about the whole, MJF and CM Punk feud or whatever. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, FTR both made it very clear to MJF that just because he's feuding with people doesn't mean they're gonna be involved. They don't want to be involved in it. So just because Dax did have a match with CM Punk, I mean, doesn't necessarily mean they hate each other. You know what I mean?
But there's still history that hasn't been solved. That's like skipping a scene in a movie that's like a little like I know some people probably don't care about the scene, but the scene matters if you really pay close attention to it when you're telling a story.
Yeah, I suppose, but
But I will say though about the Owen Hart tournament, I love the way you have to earn your spot in this tournament.
yeah,
I love it, and it's not like a jobber going against somebody. It's actually two worthy competitors going against each other, and the winner gets the spot in that tournament. That is how you make that shit prestigious. Old King of the
exactly.
Ring vibes.
Exactly, man. Everything like the booking for AEW is fucking phenomenal. Every opportunity that you have to earn. It's not just handed to you.
I agree with that. So now let's get into the CM Punk promo at Hangman Adam Page because of course last week on AEW, which I didn't watch because I chose to watch my Nets get their ass whooped by the Celtics, but I did watch the promo back. We saw the first face to face with CM Punk and Adam Hangman Page. But
Yep.
now CM Punk, got off commentary. He went off, he cut a promo. And for me, the highlight was definitely that one guy that goes, yeah! That crowd guy. He was hilarious. But
Yeah,
overall, I thought it was a good promo.
yeah, like I was saying a few minutes ago, Adam Page couldn't be at the show tonight, and he was a mainstay. He's a mainstay on AEW, obviously, because he's the AEW champion. Um, but it was all up to CM Punk to hype up this match. He was like, I've never been in a locker room with more talent than I have in AEW, and I feel like he was taking little subtle hints at WWE or whatever.
Mhm.
But he was pretty much saying that he's always going to be able to count on him, whether the chips are stacked against him. He's always going to be able to count on himself. I really enjoyed the promo. I'm looking forward to this match, man. Double or Nothing is like shaping up to be a great show.
I really think the way that they're building this is very good. I think CM Punk versus Hangman, that's going to be a great main event. I really do hope for a new champion. I don't know. Like, I will say, like, this so far, the whole Hangman and CM Punk thing definitely has me intrigued. I'm very interested in seeing where this rivalry goes from here because I
Yeah,
love that it's being a big build for this match. I do like that.
definitely.
Yeah, so then the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, Scorpio Sky. He cut a promo about going into his main event match with Sammy Guevara. How did you feel about that quick little promo of his?
I thought it was just enough to be able to hype up the match, to get a little bit more excitement. Because I feel like because we've seen Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara have like a little rivalry over the last couple of weeks, I feel
Going
like a
back and
lot of
forth
people,
with that title.
I feel like a lot of people weren't that invested, and that was Scorpio Sky's way of getting last minute excitement into the match.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to see where this rivalry is going with the two. It's like they're like switching sides. It's like Sammy's the bad guy now, and it's like Scorpio's the good guy. It's
Yeah,
very weird, but kind of interesting. I kind of like how the title is going back and forth a little bit. It is making it a little bit interesting because you really don't know what to expect.
yeah, exactly.
And usually with AEW, like all their title reigns are super long. So like for them to have a couple little short ones, I think is not a bad idea.
I mean, as long as it's done correctly, because you don't want a title reign that's really has no significant meaning to it. You know what I mean? So as
And
long
I
as
think
it's done correctly.
man, Scorpio Sky has been proving himself a lot. Like that
Yeah.
was a great promo, I thought, that he
At
cut.
first, I told you, you heard this from me a couple of months ago. I was like, I'm not crazy about Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, Dan Lambert, because all they do is sit in the stands and talk shit. But Scorpio Sky has definitely showed me something other than he can wrestle and not just talk. I was actually rooting in my watch along. I was like, I want Scorpio Sky to win, and well, we saw the end result of that match, but which we'll get to in a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I really do hope definitely down the line Scorpio Sky can have a face run, definitely. And I would not mind seeing Ethan Page turn on Scorpio Sky for that TNT belt.
That'd be a good match.
Yeah, so moving on now to our next match on AEW Dynamite. We had a six-man tag team match. We had Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta, the Blackpool Combat Club. I think one of the coolest friggin' factions right now. Versus
Definitely.
the Factory. QT
Yeah,
Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Crumpton.
I knew I knew the Blackpool Combat Club was gonna win. I mean, the
Oh,
factory.
that's
Does
blatantly
anybody
obvious.
does anybody really care? I feel like this was just a warm up match for them to on to better and bigger and better things. Dude, I love Wheeler Yuta's gear, man. It's like white pants with blood splatter.
Yes,
Dude, I fucking
I
love
was
it.
just gonna mention that. One of the things I have on my notes here, man, Wheeler Yuta's new entrance and his gear, having that pure championship, like he looks like a legitimate badass. I think really what he's done in the last couple weeks with the Combat Club
Yeah,
really freaking foreshadows everything else he did with Best Friends. Like I can't believe that they really put this guy on Best Friends this whole time. I
I
really
know.
can't believe it
I
because
mean,
this
I
side of We Are Yuta, I love.
I used to think he was somewhat of a joke. Like I didn't really take him too serious or whatever. And then when he had that match with Moxley, I was like, "Holy shit, this guy is fucking nice." Because when he was in Best Friends, he couldn't really showcase what he could do. But I feel like now that
Hugs and kisses.
now that he's aligned himself with Moxley, Danielson, and Regal, I mean, he has an opportunity to really shine or whatever. And he like
I
the
love
dude
it.
is the dude is insane.
That's literally all I asked for was for him to change his gear, and he gave me more than that. So I'm very satisfied with that. And
Where
overall,
do
I
you
thought that this was a very fun match.
Where do you think it's going with Regal being Regal being the one to accompany him through the entrance way? Where do you think that's leading
Here's
to?
what I think is going on. I think with the Combat Club, what they want to do is showcase each guy. So it's like they have Danielson still come out to his song and stuff, but then they have Regal come out with Yuta so that Yuta gets a little bit more attention because Regal's coming out with him. William
Mhm.
friggin' Regal. And then Jon Moxley friggin' comes right through the crowd to end that. Actually really like it. And I usually am one that critiques like tag teams not coming out all together at once, but I actually kind of like it.
I mean, I'm interested in seeing like how much further they get, man. Like
I want to see how far they can take this
what
Combat Club.
What teams do you see in AEW that the Combat Club would be able to, have a good, feud with going on to the
Woo!
future?
All I know is we need some damn trio belts. That's all I gotta say, man.
Hopefully
Because
soon,
I want
man.
to see Combat Club in House of Black. I want to see the freaking Combat Club in Death Triangle, even Undisputed Elite. I want to see it all happen because this is a great trio. I'm really enjoying this, and I think them actually going against the Factory, I think, is a great way to start this momentum. Because yes, they went against a few jobbers the last couple weeks, but now they're going against a lower card group in AEW. And the
Yep.
Factory, I think, are very underrated. If you watch Dark, you would know how good they are.
Yeah, I don't watch
I
Dark.
but I don't know, there's just something about the Factory that I like as, a group that's not like your main event or mid-card guys, but they are the guys that can get the job done and make, the Combat Club look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really think that after this, like, it really proves that, like, we
Do
need
you think
trio belts.
do you think they'll introduce trio belts either before the Forbidden Door show, or do you think afterwards? And
Afterwards,
apparently from what I heard, Forbidden Door pay-per-view with New Japan and AEW, apparently it's going to be an annual thing. It's not just going to be a one show.
yeah, which I figured that was going to be the case because usually when cross promotions do stuff like that, they want to continue that relationship. So I definitely see them doing this because it's already getting a lot of freaking buzz
I know.
all over the place.
And it definitely helps New Japan because how many people over here that aren't in like the journalism business or anything like that? How many people over here in the States actually watch New Japan?
But I think the best thing about this is not just the publicity for New Japan. I really think the best thing about this whole, Forbidden Door pay-per-view that's coming up is the dream matches because we get to
Yeah.
see Tashi, what I keep forget, he's one of the best wrestlers out there. Tashi Mora or something like that. But the one guy that I definitely want to see a lot of dream matches against AEW guys is Will Ospreay. And the
Will
fact that we
Osprey,
actually can
man.
get that, I'm very
I
excited.
sent you the screenshot last night, man. Will Osprey asked Kenny Omega if he was busy in June.
Here's what I think. I think the trio belts definitely come back when Kenny Omega returns.
Yeah.
Because they
Kenny
definitely want to have legitimate tag teams basically to go into this.
Kenny Omega, apparently he just had hernia surgery, which is going to be another 2 months that he'll be out. So, I don't know if he'll be ready. I don't know if he'll be ready by June, man. I don't know.
He's not going to be ready for Double or Nothing, unfortunately. That's like what I thought. But I think it will be like, I think All Out is when he comes back. They're going to wait until a
Possibility.
pay-per-view because think about it. Why would they have Don Callis at Revolution and
I
not
know.
AEW Dynamite?
I
It's
know.
definitely going to be a pay-per-view when Kenny Omega comes back.
Oh, it definitely has to be because I mean it would have less of an impact if it was just on a random episode of Dynamite or Rampage or whatever it is.
Kenny, my God, Omega. But now we're going to get into another backstage segment that happened right after this match. We had Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Tony Storm doing a no contact promo once again. And then Ruby Soho comes and, cuts a promo on the girls, and then they leave.
Britt Baker, apparently she went to catering, which is apparently Ruby Soho's home. If you caught
Yeah, that was
the
a
little
nice
back
little
and forth.
jab.
Um, I liked it for what it was. I mean, it didn't. I don't know.
I'll tell you
It
what the
was
problem is
okay.
here. I'll tell you what the issue is here, all right? And nobody's talking about it because obviously we're reviewing the whole thing, from start to finish. So
Yeah,
we're really looking at it. Like, I know a lot of it is nitpicking, but for me, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I am getting really fucking sick and tired of this no contact thing. Like,
mhm.
why does there always have to be attacks and friggin' contact? Because and that's the thing that's sad about it is they literally have to say before the interview there's going to be no contact.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a little disappointed in that, but besides that, I thought that it was all right. I just wish I want to see Tony Storm talk a little bit more though.
You know, every time I see Tony Storm, I kind of forget she's Australian until she fucking talks, and I'm like, oh shit.
That was my reaction like when I met her back at the Northeast show, which
Because she
that
doesn't
vlog
look
should be coming out in a couple days.
she doesn't look like your average Australian chick, you know?
Yeah. So now, moving on now to another backstage segment after a wonderful commercial. We had Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian. And Christian basically put Jungle Boy in his place. And then we saw Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, call them out for a nice little Rampage match, probably.
They're gonna be having a match this Friday on Rampage, which
You
is
see, I didn't
probably
even have to. I didn't even have to like predict that because like when they do these segments, like you just know.
exactly. Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks are mainly on either Dark Elevation or Rampage. They haven't really been showcased outside of backstage segments on Dynamite in quite a while.
I'm ready for new tag team champions. I love Jurassic Express. I'm just waiting for new champions.
But the thing is, dude, I feel like Christian is gonna be turning either Christian's gonna be turning on Jungle Boy or
Please,
Jungle Boy is
please.
gonna be turning on Christian because
No, we need Christian to turn heel.
I guess it'd be a little bit more believable. But in the backstage segment, like Jungle Boy had a hell of a match last week. Like nobody can say anything. That match was phenomenal for the Owen Hart qualifying match. And you know, it even seemed like Christian was pleased with it. And tonight, you know, he was saying, "Oh, you lost because you weren't that good." And it's like that. I mean, that pretty much opens the
Well,
door
no, what
to.
he was coming at him about was not like he had the chance to get the job done, but instead he was showboating.
But still, man, that was Christian. You could hear it in his tone of voice. He's like I'm gonna be turning heel soon. You know what I
And
mean? You
that's what
had
I
to.
am hoping happens.
I feel like it's gonna be coming any week now, and I'm looking forward to it. Who would you want to take the titles off of Jurassic Express? If I had to pick, I would pick Red Dragons.
Yeah, so with Jurassic Express, so many freaking tag teams come to mind. I would be I would be a little bit of a bandwagon saying the Acclaimed because I love Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, but
You just want to be able. You just want to be able to touch the fucking title when Max Caster comes to Blitzkrieg. Let's be real.
Here's what I want because everybody loves the Acclaimed, but I could be the one to say, I bet you don't know where Max Caster was first a part of. He was a part of the Shook Crew. That's right, a part of GTS Wrestling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, with this, I think it's time that they break up Christian and Jurassic Express.
They had a good run.
I think, for tag team champions now, that's a tough one because I would love to see Red Dragon win the title. Don't get me wrong, but here's what I want. I kind of want FTR. Because right now they got a lot of momentum right now, and I think them holding the AEW Tag Team Champions on top of the AAA and ROH tag belts,
what about
make
this?
it even more prestigious.
What about this? Red Dragons take the belts off of Jurassic Express, and Red Dragons they have a good little run with it for a little while, and then they drop the belts to FTR. I feel like that would have a lot more. That would have a more specialty to it, because I mean FTR. I mean, how would it look them beating a dinosaur for the titles?
I'm just saying they would put on it would be really cool to build it as like a dream match.
It would, but I would like to see Red Dragons defeat Jurassic Express to win the tag titles and then have them drop the belts to FTR. That's what I would like to see happen.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see. But moving on now to our next match, we had Lance Archer versus Wardlow.
Oh my god, man.
I love it. I love it.
Bro, when Wardlow jumped up in the air and did that fucking Hurricane Rana, and then he did a Swanton a little while after, I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Wardlow is so good, man. I'm telling you, that man needs to be world champion in his career. I'm telling you, he's so good.
It's gonna be an absolute fucking annihilation when he gets his hands on MJF.
I feel so sorry for MJF. Like, he's probably going to be like in a wheelchair the next week on Dynamite after what happens, because it's not going to be good at all.
It's not, man. That match was killer. I will say, Lance Archer at the beginning of the match, Wardlow was being brought up by the security. He was getting the handcuffs taken off because that's the whole gimmick thing going on, the story
Yeah.
behind it. And Lance Archer just does like a fucking like a front flip or
All
whatever,
little somersault.
a somersault outside the ring, knocking everybody over, including the security guards. That was a good way to open the match, man. I thought the match wasn't long, but it didn't need to be long.
It
They
didn't
got
have to
in
be long at all.
they got in everything that they need to get in, and they told one hell of a story, and it definitely amplified the stakes once Wardlow is able to get his hands on MJF. MJF's gonna get his fucking. It's gonna be an annihilation, dude.
I know, just please. I just really hope he doesn't like hurt MJF's vocals, because we really need him to be talking still.
At least MJF, at least he
I
won't
need
be
to
able
try
to.
not to laugh too.
At least,
I need his vocals.
at least he won't be able to tell you that he'd rather have AIDS than subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's very true. Maybe I do want Wardlow to power bomb him 100 times. I don't know. But here's the thing. I loved MJF's introduction. That was great. I love the shot at Philadelphia, because I can't stand Philadelphia.
Why?
So,
Sports team,
why?
right?
Yeah, sports team.
I'm so glad I'm not into sports, man. I don't
Yeah,
hate.
no,
I don't.
trust me, you should be really glad.
I don't hate cities and states because of a stupid fucking sports team.
No, man, Philadelphia, you don't understand. It goes very deep. All right. But the ECW arena, though, like ECW stuff, though, I respect. But I did like the
Yo,
shots. I
I
did
gotta
like
give
the
it.
shots at MJF that he
I got
took.
to give a shout out to the guy in the front row that was wearing a fucking old school ECW shirt. I don't know who the fuck he was, but I mean, rock on to whoever the fuck you are.
Hey, rock on. But here's the thing. I really thought that Wardlow looked great in this match, and he's just getting better and better, and I love it. The crowd they love it. The friggin' power bomb symphony.
Yep.
I love every second of it. And I really do like, the heat that's getting with MJF with this, because people just want to see Wardlow kick his ass, and they're not letting it happen. And that's the thing I really like, because MJF is supposed to be this arrogant prick. So
Yep.
I do really like the way that they're building this.
When I heard like after the match or whatever, we heard like a little promo backstage with MJF, which I'm not gonna indulge too much because we're gonna get to it. But I thought the next person that he was gonna have face Wardlow was gonna be fucking the chairman.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, is the chairman, to where like he like really brutalizes him to the point where MJF's like, "Fine, you get the match, you get the match." And I hope the match is like in a steel cage or something, because that would be even better, I think, for the story purposes.
I don't know how many more people he can have Wardlow run through before he finally finalizes the match. But I definitely feel like the match is going to take place at Double or Nothing. I mean, I don't see another
Oh,
option for
easily.
it.
That's easy. But here's the thing that I really don't understand about the whole Wardlow situation. Tony Khan just be signing people out of nowhere. Like, if they make one wrestling match, and then it's like, oh my God, Jake Atlas, he's all elite.
Yep.
Keith Lee is all elite. This guy's all elite. This guy's all elite. But with Wardlow, it's like, why isn't I get it's the storyline wise, but it's just kind of funny to me.
Why was he the bodyguard of fucking MJF? He should have been a multi-time world champion, man. The dude is fucking
No,
the dude has talent.
I think him being with MJF was a great thing for his career, because I think MJF has only made him so much better.
Yeah, but the dude has fucking for a big man, dude. Could you
Yo,
imagine him
no,
and
here's the thing
fucking Keith
too.
Lee?
WWE marks will always go out there and say, oh, AEW's a bunch, it's freaking luchadors and people that are under 5'10" going against each other. This match was not. We had two monsters going at it. So, like,
And
I
if
don't
you
want to hear that.
and if you see everybody that's on top in AEW, none of them have been in WWE outside of maybe like a guest spot, like on a random episode of fucking like main event or something like that.
I kind of feel bad though for Archer, because it's like I feel like every time like he gets his wins like on Dark and Elevation and stuff. But then when like the matches that actually matter, he loses. Like anytime for the
Yeah.
world championship, he ends up losing. Wardlow, he just lost.
Well, I feel like this loss was necessary, and I feel like it
Yes, it
was a
was necessary. I'm
I
not
feel like it
saying it's
I
not.
feel like it was a good contest to where it won't, jeopardize his, career or his momentum in any way.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it was definitely a competitive match. At first, it looked like he was jobbing out to Wardlow, but obviously he got his offense in.
Archer got a lot of good offense off, man. He for a little bit there, I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah. So now moving on to the next segment of the show here. I think that this was the highlight of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Jericho Appreciation Society segment. And this one, I can't believe I'm really saying that this is, the best thing tonight.
I
Seriously.
I
I can't
told you,
believe I'm
man.
saying that.
I told you. You gotta let it ride a little bit. You know what I mean? You were judging it on
No,
like the first 2 weeks.
no, those attacks were absolutely horrible. Like, why wasn't this thing has been going on? They said it on commentary. 7 weeks. Why did it take 7 weeks for them to cut this insane promo? This is the intensity I have been waiting for. This is the intensity I've been criticizing AEW for, and they
Yeah.
finally gave it to me. It's about time.
It was nuts, man. Jericho talking about he's gonna put a hit out on Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz, and Kingston flat out told him, dude, Kingston's from the hood, man. He's from the Bronx, New York. The
That's
motherfuckers
right.
don't play. Vicky has family out there. I go to the Bronx quite a bit. The motherfuckers do not play. When you talk about putting a hit out on somebody, you know, you better prepare to pay the fucking consequences. And Kingston told him flat out, are you ready to get put into the ground? Like he flat out, man. This promo was
But you
absolute
see, here's
fire.
the thing. This is what this whole thing needed this whole time. I get the attacks, but they did the attacks literally for 4 weeks
But I
straight.
love the fact that they didn't rush it.
This is what was needed. The freaking attacks, a lot of them were so useless, though.
Yeah, but I love that, it took this long to get to this point, because the last thing you want to do is rush something, because if you rush it, it's going to end up worse. You know what I mean? You might get the good stuff and first or whatever, or quicker, but at some point they're going to lose momentum. You don't want to do that. You want to, have a nice easy transition with it.
Yeah, so here's the things. Here's some of the things I wrote in my notes here. I still hate the no contact. I think it just makes it look bad because they did say that in
Yeah.
the beginning of this whole thing. And it's like, come on, like, are you kidding me? Like, you couldn't, like, just put security guards, like, in the middle of this.
Well, I mean, it's better than what WWE does. They give like half the fucking pay-per-views or half the matches for Backlash they're having, before the fucking show is even on.
Yeah, but, like, you can't keep saying, oh, the no contact thing. Like, it just,
Yeah.
I don't know, it takes a little bit away from it. Like, why can't you just hurt each other with words and not say that?
Yo, Kingston, I said this in my watch along. I was like,
Because, like,
I was
why can't Jericho be like, oh, if you put your hands on me right now, I will press charges on you. Like, it's that's common sense.
and then have Kingston get arrested. That would have actually been dope.
Exactly. So you don't need to always say, okay, Tony Khan said this when we don't even see Tony Khan on TV.
I actually like that. I like that he
I do
gives.
too. But I'm just saying, the no contact
Yeah,
thing, like, stop using that as like the excuse.
you could tell when
You can
Kingston.
come up with better creative.
You could tell when Kingston came out, dude. He wanted to fucking rip Jericho's face off. He was walking back and forth like a ADHD middle schooler that couldn't fucking pay attention in
No,
school.
here's a good take right here. All right. Eddie Kingston came into this arena like he has not had a Newport in like 2 weeks. He's having cigarette withdrawals because that man was mad.
It was
But
nuts. They started
Yeah.
throwing the chairs. They threw the Eddie Kingston picked up the table and fucking threw it. And
Yeah,
like,
which I will say one of the
bro,
spots that was hilarious, I thought, was also Santana and Ortiz when they were like giving Jericho like the I'm sorry, and then they just
I
go in
got
their
something for you,
pockets and then they flip them off.
Donnie. I
That
got
was
something for you.
great.
I got something for you.
Yeah, I got something for you too.
Um, one of my favorite things was it showed the frightened look on Jericho's face when Kingston was in his face and Jericho was sitting down. Jericho was like this, like you could tell, like see
Yeah,
the
he looked like he literally shit his pants. Like
yeah
if I was in that situation, I would be shitting my pants too.
yeah
That's
because
why like these attacks, I wish that they were a little bit more intense because of like how he acted right there.
yeah
Like it just doesn't seem like it doesn't add up to the attacks. Like I wish the attacks were a little bit more aggressive.
yeah,
So
but
that
I
this
mean
promo, like it still hit you, but it would have hit you even more if the attacks were actually good.
I don't feel like the promos were scripted, which as far as I know, none of the
No, this shit
promos
was unscripted.
in AEW are scripted.
Eddie
I
Kingston
feel
doesn't do a script. Hell
I feel
no.
I feel like if it was scripted, could you imagine a promo like this being cut in WWE and how all the shit that would have to be cut out of it or changed?
Yeah. I will say one critique though in this, and I think I said this a few times in my reactions and the talk show with you. I really I get why Garcia is a part of the Jericho Appreciation Society because he is with 2.0,
Yeah.
but I really just don't get why he should not. I miss the old Daniel Garcia
Yeah,
in my opinion.
When Garcia was talking during this segment, I was like, "Oh my god, Garcia, just shut the fuck up."
Dude,
I thought King,
Garcia was the only problem here.
I
And
thought
and Jake Hager too. Like, why is he wearing he's looking very odd. Like, why can't he just wear white pants or something?
I
Like the
thought Gar
group.
I thought Kingston was gonna smack the dog shit out of fucking Garcia. I was like, "Oh my god, just shut up."
Yo, you know what he looks like? If you ever watched the later years of WCW, 3 Count
Oh my god.
with the hat.
Which one? Shane Helms, Shannon Moore, or what's his name? Evan?
Shane Helms.
Shane Helms.
Except
Oh
he
my
doesn't
god.
have the corn rolls. That's the
Oh
only
my
thing.
god. Bro, man. He does kind of look like a fucking like
Three count.
a meth head Backstreet Boy.
Oh my god. No, here's the thing. It's like with his old character, he could have fit so perfect with with the combat club. He could have fit so good in there, but instead he's doing this shit.
But dude, I'm so in love with the fact that Wheeler Yuta's now in the Blackpool Combat
Yes,
Club.
I love that.
I couldn't see
But it's
anybody else
still
in that
I
spot.
love that, but it still kind of bothers me that Garcia is doing this comedy shit with Jericho when he should be doing what Wheeler Yuta's doing. Don't get me wrong, Wheeler Yuta definitely deserves to be in the spot that he is, but if I had to pick between Garcia or Yuta to get that push like that, I'm going Garcia.
I'm going with Yuta, man. I got to.
He's really good, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking away anything Wheeler Yuta is doing. I actually do enjoy him being a part of the club, but I don't know. I feel bad for Daniel Garcia in this because I feel
Yeah.
like his talents are being a little bit wasted. I think long term, him having that mentor with Chris Jericho is good for his career.
That's going to
But I
make him
feel,
better.
but I
I mean,
feel
look
like
at
just
Darby Allin with Sting.
but I feel like just overall though, he would be even better with William Regal and Mox and Danielson.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure because I haven't seen the intensity in Daniel Garcia.
You gotta watch
I
his matches, man.
I don't know if I don't know if he's more intense than Wheeler Yuta is.
In a ring, who's gonna break your freaking ligament? I think freaking Daniel Garcia. I
We
wouldn't
need
want to
to
go in
have
the ring with Garcia.
Tony. Somebody needs to tweet at Tony Khan, man. We need to see Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia in like a fucking street fight. I want to see who's tougher. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the only way
Also,
anybody's
also
gonna
one
find
of
out.
the not only was the middle finger thing funny as well. It was funny when I think Matt Lee was running his mouth, and then Eddie Kingston. I put this in quotes because I thought it was just so funny. He says, "I swear on my mother, shut up." I loved the intensity because Kingston really acted like this man has not smoked a cigarette in like 2 days.
Bro, Kingston is the shit, man. When he gets his hands on Jericho, like there's gonna be bloodshed.
But all I know is this is easily the best thing that happened on Dynamite this week. The intensity. This is what I wanted from the start, and they finally gave it to me. I think that we still have more time to build this, so now I am interested.
Exactly.
I am connected with this storyline.
Even Ben said this promo was fire. A little shout out to you, Ben. I know you're gonna be watching this at some point. But yeah, he said that this promo is fire. So
Yes, which thank you, Ben, for actually watching AEW Dynamite for once, because soon you will realize, Ben, that AEW is better than WWE. Yes, I call it down the middle with both things because there's pros and cons. But Ben, you like the truth is the truth,
I
and
feel like Ben's
look
just
who's
used to WWE and used to how they operate. I don't think he's used to new people because
here's
like
the thing. Here's the thing with Ben. All right, he rather see wrestlers get hit with noodles than Kendall sticks. And that's what you get in WWE. Pool noodles.
hey man, pool noodles are fun. I
They
love
are
going
fun. I used to pretend they were Kendall sticks back in the
Surf,
day.
buddy. Surf, what's going on, man? Surf is
Hey, what's
one of
going
my
on,
viewers and
Surf?
he's one of my viewers in my watch along. Shout out to you.
Yeah, here we go. Now we got 2 people here. This is awesome.
And I
Let's
believe
go.
Melinda Ford, she's a day one, man.
Hell yeah, we love the support, guys. We really appreciate it as well because I know it's been, a long friggin' night of wrestling. But yeah, I say, we get back into this real quick. So now moving on to the next thing here, we have Sammy Guevara's promo. He cut a little promo before his main event, and it looked like there's a heel turn going on.
Possibly, but I'm not interested in what he has to say. I'm just not.
Why? Why not?
I don't know. To be honest, I think during this promo, I was up out getting a drink, so I didn't see it.
Here's the thing with Sammy Guevara, and real quick, if you guys hear the water heater in my background, I apologize. That's where my set is, so we're live, so you have to deal with it. There's no
Yes,
cutting here. But
Sammy Guevara.
with
Sammy
Sammy
Guevara.
Guevara,
I feel like he's
no,
too wrapped up
this
in
is
his
good.
relationship.
I want to see this heel turn with Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti. I think it has so much potential because people are already wanting to strangle him. This is great. This is going to make Sammy Guevara even better if he turns heel. I like it. And I also like Ty Conti by his side as well. I know a lot of people are criticizing it because they think that, they're like shoving it down our throats, this and that. But I think like them turning heel, this is going to be the best thing for Sammy. Easily.
Yeah, like I don't mind Sammy as an in-ring competitor.
Ooh,
But
hold up real quick. Surf wrestling. I would love to see Kadusha versus Wheeler.
Kushida.
Kushida versus Wheeler Yuta for the ROH Pure Championship belt. That I think would make a really good match on ROH. Definitely.
That'd be good.
And
And
that's awesome meeting Bray Wyatt last Saturday. I met him at a WWE live event, the VIP thing, around 2017 when he won the title. Such a nice guy.
I tried to get Surf to get me some inside scoops on what Brian Wyatt's mindset was when it comes to returning to wrestling, but nothing really came of it.
Yeah. So now moving on to our next match of the night, we have Serena Deeb versus Shida, which this is believe like their last match, I think, right now, because they've been building this rivalry up for quite some time.
Yeah, man, this was a Philadelphia street fight. I actually really enjoyed it, man. The intensity, and when Serena Deeb blinded Hakira with the like the what do you call it, the weightlifting powder.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was good, and then obviously she had to get the shit out of her eyes. A lot of kendo sticks, a lot of cheer shots. It was intense.
That's the thing I really like about the women's wrestling in AEW. They do have more violence than WWE. And I think that's like one of the key factors that really stand out when it comes to the AEW women's division. Because I thought that this match was great overall. Because, of course, there is that story, the intensity. They've been going at it for months. And I think a lot of people are criticizing Serena Deeb winning this match. I know Ben in our group chat, he was a little bit mad because he really loves Shida. But I really think that this was a great booking. Deeb definitely deserves the win. She's really good in the ring. She reminds me of like a female Dean Malenko. And I would really like to see Serena Deeb versus Thunder Rosa for the championship at Double or Nothing. I think that's a good, worthy competitor for the title.
Yeah, like I said, man, she won the match fair and square. I mean, it was a street fight, anything goes. It's not like she cheated or whatever to win. She was trying to take out the knee a couple times, especially with the chair. I thought
And
Serena
that's
Deeb
the
and
thing about a technical wrestler, and that's the cool thing about Deeb. She's a technical wrestler, so she goes after one part of the body, and I think that's really cool to have in their women's division.
I thought Deeb was gonna break her nose at one point because when like she had Sheba on the ground and she like pushed her into the chair like face first. I thought Deeb broke her nose for a second there.
Yeah, and I also really liked how at the end, they had Thunder Rosa looking at the screen at Serena Deeb winning, because I think that's going to be a great way, now that Deeb finally won this rivalry against Shida, as I think she deserves to, because, Deeb has really been underrated through time in AEW. Shida had that opportunity of being, I think she is the longest reigning women's champion that they have. So
Yeah.
I think for Deeb to actually win this, and now go for the championship, I think is definitely a great move.
Would you
Booking.
take the title off of Thunder Rosa and put it on
No, not
Serena?
yet. But definitely, I think them having their first match, because I know that, this won't be the last time Deeb goes for the championship. This is a great way for her, to get her first loss after a little while, so
Yeah.
that, she, could probably go into the Owen Hart tournament, do some work, and then, keep doing rivalries and stuff. And then maybe months from now, she could win the championship. Who knows?
It's gonna be an intense match, man. But it better not just be just a random wrestling match.
I will say, I will
What
say,
about a
Deeb is
submission
a future
match?
TBS. Ooh, a submission match. That would be very interesting to see, because we really don't get those type of matches with women's wrestling. So I would not mind seeing that at all.
Tony Khan, book it.
Book it, Tony. Even though we know you're not watching because we only got one person right now. But moving on to the next thing. MJF is backstage, very happy for some reason, and he gets the interviewer's name wrong like he always does. If you haven't watched MJF Try Not to Laugh 1 on the We Are Wrestling channel, go check that out, because the people that say they did not laugh to that, you're capping. You are straight capping. But what did you think about MJF, teasing Wardlow's next opponent, who's, 7 feet tall? You can't teach that.
What's his name on Impact? Morrissey?
Yes.
Well, I call him Big Cass. I call him
Me
Cass
too.
XL. I call whatever his name is, man. He is coming in to do a one-off against Wardlow. It's gonna be fucking intense, man. We
I'm
just saw
excited
him.
for
We
this.
saw him like about 3-4 weeks ago at Northeast Wrestling, along with Enzo. They fought the Hardys. If you haven't seen the vlog, make sure you go check
I
it
know
out.
I know Danny has his vlog on Danny H Vlogs. My vlog will be coming out in a couple days. I promise you guys. I know I'm very behind.
He's slacking, man. You guys got to get on this guy. But I'm really looking forward to that match, man. I'm really looking forward to that match.
I will say
Cass is
I love how MJF has introduced all 3 of Wardlow's opponents so far. The
yeah.
Butcher, Archer, and now Big Cass. I really did like that a lot.
Cass has gotten into a really good shape. He doesn't look like he looks a lot better than he did in WWE. So
I'm so happy for him. He deserves this opportunity.
he's gotten healthy. He's gonna be back on the national TV because Impact, even though a lot of people say that the Impact, superstars are really good, they don't have
Get
a
off
TV deal.
Access TV.
Yeah, nobody watches Impact. You know what I mean? So I feel like getting Cass back on that level of being on national television, I feel like it's gonna do wonders, and he's gonna get bookings out the ass.
I agree. So now moving on to our next thing here, we had House of Black. So it started off with
Fuego del
Fuego
Sol.
del Sol, who Sammy Guevara clearly has forgotten about, just like his former members of the Inner Circle.
Yeah,
Definitely got to be a heel turn at this point. But
bro.
they had him lying in the middle, and then House of Black was about to take the mask off, and then in the ring was Alex. Well, we thought it was Alex, dressed up as Ministry of Darkness Undertaker. Then we get, of course, they all go to the ring storming at, that future to be found out was Ray Phoenix. Then
He's back, man.
we had Pentagon, we had Pac, and then Alex comes
Hey,
out in his gear, and that got me because I was like, they're probably just gonna have him come out. But then when he took off the whole Ministry of Darkness stuff, that got me. I was surprised. At first I was like, this is really stupid because I thought it was gonna be a typical return. But then when that happened, I was pretty shocked. It got me for a second.
hey, man, you pronounced his name wrong.
Who?
It's the bastard
The
Pack.
bastard Pac.
I this was a great return, man. I did not see it coming. When the dude came out from the backstage area or whatever, I was like,
Mhm.
who if that's not their manager, who the hell is in the ring? And I was like, I knew Phoenix was coming back soon
Yep,
because
I already knew Phoenix was coming back too.
he's supposed to be in the AAA event or whatever that's happening. So he's supposed to be in a tag team match there and that. So I knew that he was on the road to recovery. He was on the road to making a return. I wasn't sure it was going to be tonight though. That was like not even a possibility when I first started the show.
Yeah, I really did like the way they did that because it was definitely a twist. Because I know a lot of people probably knew he was coming back, but the way that they did it, they made it work. And even the crowd got worked in that, which is great to see because nowadays you can't really work people unless you really twist it, you twist things around. And they
I
did that.
I will say I'm not crazy about Ray Phoenix's first attack, man. He went to swing the shovel and just completely missed. I feel like with his big return, he should have been able to get one good whack and knock out Buddy Murphy.
Yes, I
You
agree.
know,
He should have gotten one good whack on that thing. Like, come on now. Like, I get it. Booking wise, they're they're a little bit too safe sometimes with their
sometimes.
people. But now, moving on now to which. Oh, also one thing I just want to say. Finally, we get House of Black and Death Triangle. Very excited to see that.
I'm looking forward to it, man. We saw Malachi Black as well this past weekend. It was phenomenal seeing him.
Him
So
versus Lethal, man, that was crazy. My vlog should be coming out definitely within the weekend, so stay tuned for that. But
yeah, that's a match we need to see on AEW at some point, man. They tore the house down in a fucking indie show. Could you imagine on national TV? Lethal
yeah,
versus Black?
seriously. Yeah. So now moving on to our next match here, we had AEW's favorite type of match, like Teddy Long with his tag team matches on SmackDown, the 10-man tag team match. Their favorites.
Holla,
They had
holla, holla.
Undisputed Elite versus a bunch of other people.
Yeah, I said this in my watch along. I kind of feel like the Varsity Blondes need to. I don't think Tony Khan should resign them. They haven't really done anything. Um, I could understand keeping Brian Pillman Jr. I've seen him a lot in MLW. He is a good performer. But as far as his tag team partner, I don't even care enough about him to know his name. You know what I
Griff
mean?
Garrison, come on now.
Yeah, Griff Garrett,
MJF
whatever.
put that man over.
Whatever the fuck his name is. Like I don't feel like Tony Khan needs to, re-sign him to a contract once the contracts expire.
I want to see what they're going to do with Julia Hart, though.
I
She's
feel
got
like
potential. She's very young.
I feel like she needs a little bit of work. I still don't quite understand. They haven't even like the whole Malachi Black spitting the black mist in her face. Uh, that hasn't been explained, and somehow she's still wearing the fucking eye patch.
No, they are slowly doing something because I actually, when it comes to Dark Elevation, I do watch the matches that are interesting. I will not watch a random independent guy go against somebody and get squashed. There
Unless
was a
it's
match.
CPA.
Yes, unless it's somebody that we love watching on Blitzkrieg Pro or Northeast Wrestling. But I really think like they are actually building Julia Hart because she actually did have a match on Elevation versus Chris Statlander. And if you really pay attention to the patch eye, you would notice that like it's starting to get a little bit dark under her eye, which they kind of talked about a little bit on commentary. So I think they're building something
I feel like she's gonna end up joining the House of Black in some capacity.
that's going to happen, I think. But
And
this
now
10
that I
man
and
but
now
this
that I
10
think
man
about
match,
it,
man, I don't know.
when she was sitting on the ring steps or whatever, like before the match started, wasn't she wearing black?
Yeah,
Or was I just seeing things?
I think so.
She was wearing like a dark colored like jacket or something, like a black jacket or something. It's
I
making a
like
lot
what
more
they're
sense.
doing. I like what they're doing. It's slow, and I think they want to hit you out of nowhere with it. They don't want to make it obvious what they do. But I think that this match was, it was all right.
It
Not the
was a
best.
it was a typical ending. Like everybody knew that the Elite was gonna win. I mean, we're talking about Red Dragons, Adam Cole, the Young Bucks. I mean, they're not gonna fucking lose. Are you kidding me?
Nah, they're not. And I like it. The only reason why I like this 5 man is to keep building the long term story here with this whole undisputed elite thing. Because we all know when Omega's coming back, something's going to happen with Adam Cole and Omega.
It kind of did seem like Red Dragons and the Young Bucks were starting to get on the same page a little bit. And then I thought something tragic was gonna happen because I saw Brandon Cutler like standing like on the ropes or whatever with his foot over the ropes, and it looked like he was leaning into the ring like trying to say something. So I thought like maybe the Young Bucks were gonna like beat up Adam Cole and the Red Dragons or whatever. But that didn't happen.
They're
But
building something. I think Young Bucks will be turning face pretty soon.
the Young Bucks looked like shit last week, man. They were just wearing hats, fucking hoodies, black jeans,
No,
sneakers.
no new Jordans.
Their swag game is out of control, man.
Yeah, for real. So now moving on to our next thing that happened, we had a parking lot segment where the Jericho Appreciation Society beat Eddie Kingston up, and they beat up the Santana and Ortiz, and then they shot a fireball right in Eddie Kingston's face.
Bro, I did not expect that segment to happen. I really didn't. I enjoyed it, man. And it intensifies the whole story.
Yes, I agree. And like you see, this whole time, if they did things like that, I probably wouldn't have been so freaking critiquing this whole thing because it actually looked good.
Yeah.
So I
I
was
mean, I'm
very happy about that, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen moving forward. Hey, we got 4 people here. Look at that. Let's
I
go
know
for our first live. This is pretty good.
what's going on, everybody.
What
Like
is
we said
going
at the
on? We
beginning
are
of the show,
wrestling
this is
maniacs.
This is going to be a regular thing. Every Wednesday, we're going to be coming live. So I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Every
Even though we're almost
Wednesday,
done.
right after Dynamite. It'll probably be 15 to 20 minutes after the show because obviously I got to put together my reactions for Dynamite because I try to watch and enjoy the show. But
Yep.
moving on now to this is the build up. They did the match cards they announced right before our main event here for Rampage. And I just want to say I might have to watch Rampage on Friday because with Swerve versus Darby, yeah, I'm not missing that match.
And the backstage
Whose house?
Swerve's house. And the backstage segment that we had with Swerve and Darby, is pretty much being like, hey, motherfucker, you're the new guy here. This is my house. I've been here since day fucking one. That's going to be an intense match, man.
I like the match card going for Rampage.
I just wish Rampage was
It's not putting matches like together.
I just wish it was 2 hours and live. I can't. There's something
Yes.
about the pre-recorded um shows. It doesn't seem real to me in some aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand that. I get that. But I want them to more focus on making ROH live in two
Yeah.
hours than Rampage. Let Rampage, like, they have something going over there. And I feel like it's getting better and better every week, I think. The
Yeah.
build-ups and stuff. Like, it's not lazy booking anymore, which is good.
Yeah.
So now, moving on to the main event of
Main
Dynamite.
event.
The main event. We have a ladder match. Sammy Guevara, who is the king of ladder matches now, is going against Scorpio Skies. I think he forgot that the Hardys are part of AEW now.
I know, but like Sammy Guevara always says, man, it's fucking crazy.
Crazy.
This ladder match, man. Before the match actually started, I was like, I kind of want Scorpio Sky to win. You know what I mean? I feel like Scorpio Sky has definitely showed me what he's capable of in the ring. Instead of just being in the bleachers with Dan Lambert and Ethan Page, just running his mouth, whatever. Um, I mean, the dude's a terrific athlete, and I feel like I am so sick of Sammy Guevara as TNT champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But now Scorpio Sky is winning just as many TNT belts as Sammy Guevara.
I just hope, I just hope it has meaning and life behind it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
what I'm hoping for is a big payoff here because there shouldn't be a reason why they just keep playing patty cake with the TNT belt. There has to be some
Exactly.
type of payoff, which I hope leads to maybe a match between the two, one final match at Double or Nothing, but that's it. After Double or Nothing, that's it. No more.
One thing I will say that
But
I
here's what I
wasn't
want to see happen.
okay.
Or I'll let you finish before I.
I was just gonna say one thing that I wasn't crazy about regarding this match was when Scorpio Sky landed on the barbed wire. The entire match, dude, he had not 1 ounce of blood on him at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like it was very mediocre at best.
Especially with a TV 14. I get
It
that.
was it was very intense because the barbed wire was like attached to a ladder. But you would imagine if somebody landed on barbed wire like that, they would have fucking marks on their back, and it didn't look like he had anything.
Yeah. So I don't know. My opinion about, like I was going to say, what I hope happens. So Double or Nothing, we get Sammy versus Scorpio Sky one final time. That's it after that. But here's what I think should happen. Ethan Page, because of course he was tag teams with Scorpio Sky,
Yep.
he should turn on Scorpio and help Sammy Guevara win so that it creates, a storyline between Sky and Paige because Paige could be like, oh, like friggin' I've been on the back seat, like while you've been going for the TNT belt. It could be a jealousy factor. And I think
Yep.
Sammy Guevara going full heel is probably the best thing for him right now moving forward because the fans cannot stand him and Ty Conti. So when you have that type of heat, you need to keep that heat. And by
Yep.
doing that, turning them heel is the best thing.
I feel like, dude, the crowd was
Shove it
red.
down our throats. Piss us off.
Well, they definitely are doing it to me, but the crowd was red hot for this match, dude. Like everybody was fucking going crazy. And then when Van Zant and Tay Conti got involved in the match, and Van Zant got on Sammy Guevara's back, and then Tay Conti got on Scorpio's back. I mean, dude, the crowd was going absolutely fucking bonkers, man. This match was definitely one of the highlights just because of the crowd reaction.
Yes, man, that crowd was on fire tonight. I love the AEW crowds. They make the show so much more better to watch, so much more entertaining.
I mean, the first match with Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, they were saying fight forever, like within like 10 minutes of the match. It was nuts.
It was so good, especially the Kingston pop that the crowd gave him. That was straight awesome.
AEW is great when it comes to the crowds, man. The
Yes, and
crowds are
I
just
and I
red hot.
thought definitely. So now before we close off, this live, our first live with the We Are Wrestling Talk show after AEW Dynamite, what do you give this Dynamite? Like out of 5?
Well, Scorpio Sky won, Wardlow won, The Elite won, Dax Harwood won, Serena won.
Overall, what do you give the show?
Overall, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10, maybe. Like, it had a lot of good moments, but obviously it wasn't like the best episode I've ever seen.
Mhm.
But one thing about me, man, is I don't really like rating pro wrestling shows or whatever, because just like rating music, just like rating, movies or whatever, it's all subjective. So not everybody's gonna have the same opinion as
Oh
you.
no, of course, like that. I definitely get that perspective from you. The reason why I like doing the ratings is not like to have a big debate thing, because for me, I'm always like, as a We Are Wrestling Maniac, I'm always curious to know
Yeah,
where somebody stands with the show, and if like somebody thinks that like it's 1 star, instead of me getting mad about it, turning that into a whole debate, it's like, something, I really want to know, why do you think this show is a 1 star? Is there something I'm missing, maybe? Or somebody that says it's 10 stars, I want to know, like, okay, what made this a 10 star? So
yeah,
for me, it's more like not like judging the person's rating, but more like learning.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would give it about a 7 out of 10. I feel like that's a very fair number.
Yeah.
It
So,
was a really good episode. It was an enjoyable episode, but it's definitely not the best episode I've ever seen.
yeah, hold on. So, real quick, we got a comment here. Guevara
Ogmund
went
Prime.
We got he said Guevara went from being a top 10 babyface to number 2 heel, second only to MJF.
That's actually a really good comparison, man.
That is so true.
The
That is
dude is
so
fucking
accurate.
universally hated, but liked at the same time.
Yeah, because in AEW, this man was literally like top 10 for babyface. He's not even wrong about that.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention, man.
Yeah,
It just
that's a really good take.
it totally slipped my mind, man.
Yeah, so now what I give this show, damn, this was a really good Dynamite. I can't give it 10 stars because I've seen better. I am going to have to give this episode of AEW an 8. This was a very fun episode. I think, that Kingston and Jericho promo really made this show go to the top. I
Yeah.
was also very impressed. They had a great ladder match, great street fight. Also, having the Combat Club, all together, and Wheeler Yuta just, becoming his own person more and more, I
And
thought was very impressive.
Yuta's just pulling out these victories for the
Dax
Blackpool
and
Combat
Cash
Club.
putting on that match, great. Wardlow looked awesome. More stuff, looking forward to seeing that with MJF. This show easily was an 8 out of 10. One of the better episodes of Dynamite, in my opinion.
I will say, like, I gave it a 7 out of 10. If it wasn't for that Kingston promo, I don't feel like I feel like it would have been a 6 out of 10 for me.
For me, it
But
would
that
probably, without that Kingston thing, I'm not going to lie. For me, that would have been probably a 6 or a 5.
Yeah. But that promo, man, like, I felt that right here, you know what I mean? It was some real life shit. Like, Kingston was like, "Man, I don't play around with that stuff, and you're about to see." You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go, man. I'm looking forward to doing these lives every Wednesday, man.
I'm
I feel
very
like
excited about doing this.
it's going to be fun. It's going to add something new to the channel, and I hope people, enjoy it and people interact and make it a very interactive experience, man.
And I think so. I think we had a really good turnout for this last minute decision. We appreciate all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs for tuning in to this episode of our first ever live review on AEW. We're going to continue doing these after
We'll be doing it
Dynamite.
for pay-per-views and stuff too.
Yes, we are. We will be doing it for pay-per-views and Dynamite. WWE with Raw and SmackDown. I hate to burst the bubble here of excitement if you love WWE, but I cannot watch 3 hours of Raw consistently, or I don't watch SmackDown. I
Yeah.
just don't. But AEW, 100%, 150%, you are going to be getting these every Wednesday night. After Dynamite, you have to give us about 15 to 20 minutes after the show because we got to, get ready, put everything together from his stream to, my reactions. So definitely got to be patient there. But we're going to make it very entertaining. We really want to interact with you guys and make this a fun experience because that's what the We Are Wrestling channel is all about.
I think this was a good first step, man. It was our first live stream, and I think it was a success. Don't forget,
My first time ever being live on YouTube.
it's scary at first, and then once you get in the hang of it and realize, oh, it's just two buddies having a conversation. I did this for 3 months before I had anybody watching my streams, dude. So it's gonna take some time or whatever for people to get used to watching it and used to what's going live.
Hey,
But
I'm
trust me,
enjoying it, man. I'm having a great time with you on here.
don't forget everybody that's watching or everybody that's going to be tuning in after the video gets published or the stream gets published to YouTube as a video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, but also we're going to have a new episode Friday of the We Are Wrestling Talk Show along with Ben.
And what do we talk about, Danny? Let them know.
Randy fucking Orton, man.
That's right. We're going to be going over his entire career. But hey, let us know in the comment section below what you guys thought about AEW Dynamite. If you guys enjoyed this and you guys want more of these, because we're going to be doing them every Wednesday after Dynamite and for pay-per-views as well. Make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not We Are Wrestling Maniac yet, you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. The best way to support this channel is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. If you want to take the extra time out of your, day to even go check out Danny's reactions, he had to create a whole new channel for that. The links are all down in the description below. You can also go check out his watch-alongs as well.
Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm live over on my Danny Age Vlog channel. We do watch-alongs, man. I'm trying to build myself a community, man. It's like one giant wrestling watch party.
That's right. He does whole watch party on a whole nother channel that you guys got to check out. The links are down below for that. And of course, you can go follow me on my social medias. I'm very active on my Instagram page at Best1Donnie. And also, of course, you can subscribe if you're into basketball to my DBTV channel, because now the Brooklyn Nets, we are out of the playoffs. We got swept. Stop sending me pictures of fucking brooms and broom emojis. We're going to be talking about a lot of Brooklyn Nets stuff on there with the offseason coming up. So if you're into basketball, go check out DBTV. And if you are just looking for vlogs and just lots of random content, you can go check out my channel with Team Best One Network. The links are all down in the description below if you guys have the extra time to support us. Additionally, from We Are Wrestling, we are on other channels. But of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there, the thousands of subscribers, we are taking over. You guys enjoyed this live stream because me and Danny did, and we're going to be doing more of these moving forward. Hope you guys are excited because we got some vlogs coming out the rest of the week, and we have on Friday the We Are Wrestling Talk Show Randy Orton episode where we honor the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, the Viper, Randy freaking Orton. Take it easy, guys.